Everyone kept asking the same question: ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini? Which one actually wins? Not just on paper, not just in benchmark. I want to know which one is actually the most useful when you're trying to create something real. So instead of just reading random opinion online, I compared all three through the lens of actual creative work. And I'm going to show you what I think each one does best. I basically gave them the same type of prompt, same goal, same direction. And I want to see how each AI thinks, how it structured things, and how it helped me actually create something. And this matters more now than ever, because all three are moving fast. OpenAI recently pushed newer GPT 5.4 and GPT 5.3 model into ChatGPT. Anthropic released Claude Sonnet 4.6 and Opus 4.6, and Google has been expanding Gemini 3.1 Pro and pushing Gemini deeper into tools like Workspace and Calm. So this is not some old comparison. The landscape is charging continuously. So here how I'm judging this. Not by two sound smartest for 5 seconds. I'm judging them by what actually matters if you're a creator, designer, developer, or someone building products online. First, which one gives the clearest answer? Second, which one help you create faster? Third, which one feels the most reliable when the tasks get more complex? And four, which one will I actually keep open while building something like this? Let's talk with ChatGPT. For me, ChatGPT feels like the most balanced all-rounder. It's usually the one that feels the easiest to jump into for everyone everyday work. Brainstorming, rewriting, structuring ideas, helping with code, helping with content is just very versatile, right? OpenAI say GPT 5.4 is designed for professional work with improvement in coding, computer use, tool search, has long context tasks, and OpenAI also say GPT 5.4 is now available in ChatGPT, has GPT 5.4, Thinking and Pro. That line up with the general vibe I get from it. ChatGPT is not always the most specialized in one exact category, but it often feels like the best general partner when you're moving between ideas, writing, and execution. If I'm planning a page, refining the copy, rewriting a hook, fixing a layout idea, or bouncing between creative and technical tasks, ChatGPT is usually very strong. So ChatGPT biggest strength, in my opinion, its versatility. Now, Claude. Claude feels different. It feels calmer, more deliberate, and often really strong when the tasks become heavier or more layered. Anthropic say Claude Sonnet 4.6 upgrade coding, computer use, long context reasoning, agent planning, knowledge work, and design. And Anthropic also say it has a 1 million token context window in beta. That's why a lot of people love Claude for deeper work. If I'm feeding in a lot of information, working through a bigger concept, or trying to get a thoughtful, structured answer, Claude often feels very strong. It can be especially good when you want less noise and more depth. So if ChatGPT feels like the fast, flexible all-rounder, Claude often feels like the one you go to when you want to sit down and seriously work through a bigger problem. If I had to simplify it, I would say Claude often feels strongest when the task is complex and I want a more thoughtful flow. Then there's Gemini. Gemini's biggest advantage to me is contact inside the Google ecosystem. Google had been rolling out Gemini 3.1 Pro for more complex tasks, and is also been expanding Gemini across Workspace, Search, Chrome, and other products. That means Gemini can become really powerful if your life already run through Google, Doc, Sheet, Slide, Drive, Search. That's where it starts to feel less like just a chatbot and more like a system around your work. So if ChatGPT feel like the flexible studio assistant and Claude feel like the deep thinking collaborator, Gemini feel like the one with ecosystem leverage. The challenge is that sometimes people don't just want integration. They want the strongest direct experience inside the chat itself. And that's where opinions can get split. But I do think Gemini become much more compelling when you think beyond chat window and look at everything around it. But here where I think this comparison gets more interesting. The real question is not just which AI sound the smartest. The real question is which one actually help you build better work. So let's connect this to something real. This project here was built through a process where AI was replacing taste or direction. It was helping accelerate exploration, structure, text, refinement, variation, ideas, cleanup, that kind of thing. And that's why I think this whole AI war conversation gets misunderstood. Because the winner depend on the kind of work you do. If I'm shaping idea quickly and moving across writing, UX, and code, ChatGPT is extremely useful. If I'm dealing with a bigger brief and want more thoughtful long-form help, Claude become very attractive. If my workflow live inside Google tool and I want AI around that system, Gemini make a lot more sense. So who actually win? My honest answer is there is no single winner for everyone. But if I had to break it down simply, ChatGPT win for overall flexibility. Claude win for deep, thoughtful, longer form work. Gemini win for ecosystem integration. And if you ask me which one feels the strongest for the most people right now, I would probably say ChatGPT still has the strongest all-around position, especially if you do mix creative and technical work. OpenAI is also clearly pushing hard on professional workflow coding tool use and long context performance with GPT 5.4. So I can say ChatGPT is my best friend. Each time I have a question, I will always ask ChatGPT for anything. But Claude is absolutely not far behind, especially for people who care about coding and big context workflow. And Anthropic is clearly pushing Claude further into agentic and professional work too. And Gemini is probably the one that could become much more powerful depending on how deeply Google keep embedding it across everything people already use. So for me, the real takeaway is this: the AI war is real, but it's not just about who is smartest. It's about who become the most useful in real creative work. And honestly, that's why this race is getting so interesting. So I create three versions of a design using Aura, each one guided by a different AI. So same idea, same type of prompt, same goal, but look at the difference. This one feel clean, structured, balanced, very safe, very usable. And this one feel more organized, more thoughtful, but maybe a bit less visually bold. And the Gemini version, This is where it gets interesting. This one feel more design driven, more creative, more unique. So in my opinion, if I focus purely on design, I will choose Gemini 3.1. It just gives something that feel a bit more creative and visually. But for everyday use, I still use ChatGPT the most, helping me write prompt, improve text, fix code, brainstorm idea. It's just the most practical daily tool. So, if you're looking for one clear winner, honestly, there isn't one. Each one is pushing in a different direction. And that's exactly why this AI race is getting so interesting. For me, ChatGPT is still my daily tool. But for design, Gemini is definitely catching my attention. And I think we're just at the beginning of this. Alright, that's it for today. And I'm curious, which one do you use the most right now? Let me know in the comment.